Hello and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and with me for this next and our last segment of Community Hotline tonight, we are going to be speaking with Brenda Morgan from Sisters of the Road. Nice to have you here again, Brenda.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here. Appreciate it.
Brenda, you and I have kind of gotten to know each other over the years through working at different nonprofits, and you do great work, but you are relatively new at Sisters of the Road. How long have you been there now?
I've been there for 1 year, almost to the day.
Congratulations. So you are the co-manager, development co-manager. Development, you're raising funds and for Sisters of the Road. Tell us a little bit, if you can, about what Sisters of the Road does. It's actually become pretty well known, I think, in the Northwest, but there might be somebody out there that doesn't. So why don't you fill us in?
Sisters of the Road has been in Portland for almost 34 years now.
Wow.
I know. It's a lot of people are aware of what Sisters does. Sisters is best known for its cafe, which provides very good, hot, nutritious meals to people who are homeless or who are extremely poor, although it's open to anybody.
As I can attest to, because we had lunch down there not too long ago. It was great. The food was wonderful. The company was good. Yeah, so the cafe, does that support or partially support the organization, or
well,
is it
the way we raise funds to keep the cafe going,
which is part of your job,
which is a part of my job. But the food comes in a few different ways. Some of it we purchase, some of it is donated. We have a wonderful partnership with FoodWorks out on Sophie's Island, and some of our
stuff,
so you're familiar with that. It's really good, and we've gotten a real education. We as staff and some of our volunteers as well on what's involved in planting and harvesting food.
That's great.
It's really great. And then some of the youth from FoodWorks come and volunteer at the cafe.
Oh, nice.
We have wonderful systems for people who to pay for meals there.
That's what I think is really different and special about Sisters.
You got to see that when
I got
you
to
were
see
there.
it, but tell our viewers how that works. Because that impressed me.
It costs $1.50 for a meal there. It's $1.25 for the food and 25 cents for a drink. So people can pay with cash if they have it, or they can pay with food stamps, SNAP benefits. And we also have a barter system, which is very unique. People can come and work for 15 minutes and earn a meal, or they can work for longer than that and store credit so that they can buy meals for themselves and for friends.
Wow.
So in that way, they feel like they have dignity around there. Right. It feels good to be able to pay for the things that you purchase, that you have.
What kind of work can people do for 15 minutes to earn?
Well, there's all kinds of jobs so that people with all kinds of abilities can participate. So we have jobs like sitting and giving time slots to people who want to reserve a half-hour spot for lunch. So if somebody is in a wheelchair or can't get around very easily, they can sit and do that job. We have people who sweep, who do dishes,
Take out the garbage, or
everything from A to Z. Just think of a restaurant and how a restaurant operates, and all of those jobs need to be filled. Wow. So we have some paid staff, and the rest we rely on barter workers to do it.
And when people come to eat there, what I kind of like, one of the things I liked about it was that everybody sits together, kind of family style, and there was no division between a homeless person here and somebody who's a CEO of a company there. I mean, they're sitting next to each other. Nobody pays any attention to any differences there.
Right, we're community. Some
Which
people
is how it should be. But,
yes.
But you know how, well, you know probably better than anybody working there how often the homeless are invisible. But you can't be invisible when you're sitting across from them or next to them eating. So
and you get to, people talk to each other and we share stories and get to know each other. We learn a lot from each other.
Put a face on your community, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
So, as a development person, you do have you're in charge of special events.
I am. That's my main focus area. Yes.
So, what do you have coming up?
We have a wonderful event coming up. It's called Dining with Dignity, and
that was a good segue there, wasn't
it?
Yes,
it was. That was perfect. This is our 3rd year of Dining with Dignity, and Dining with Dignity takes place during the entire month of September. And it's really amazing. We have about 25 restaurants that participate in this.
Nice.
What happens during Dining with Dignity is each restaurant selects a day in the month of September where they donate 10% of the proceeds from that day to Sisters of the Road. And we have some great restaurants participating. And we even have one or two that that chose like 5 days or every Monday in the month.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, really generous people out there.
Nice. I was looking at a list of some of them on, there are some really, really good restaurants there. So people can go to the website, they can get all the information about about them. You provided Emily, our director, with a video. Tell me, set it up for me before we watch it. What is it we're going to be looking at?
You will see kind of the inside workings of the cafe and gain a deeper understanding of what Sisters of the Road, what it is, who we are, how we operate, what made us start to form this organization. And you'll get to meet some of the people who work there and who come there for lunch.
Great. Okay. Well,
I do want to say a plug for we call it our Soundlight video because there is a company called Soundlight that donated everything that it took to make this video.
Yes,
so thank you, Soundlight.
Good deal. Well, let's take a look at that now.
Okay.
All right.
This place, if I could sum it up in one word, would be inspiration. Because it inspires people to do good things. You think we can squeeze out one more? No. That's all right. 10 is, I think, going to be plenty. We make everything from scratch. There's so many other soup kitchens. It's all processed food so that they can make bigger quantity faster. But at the same time, when you're out on the streets, a good diet is so important. Healthy food actually keeps you warm at night.
We have some green beans and artichokes, bananas.
We source a lot of our food. A lot of it is donated. And we work with a gleaning company, Beeline, who gleans for grocery stores. And it's pretty much pennies on the dollar is what we pay for the produce.
Hey, thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Yes, have a great day. You too.
And that's how we're able to serve fresh produce every day at a cost that a nonprofit can afford. 5 years ago, I ended up on the street, and basically it was because I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. I had 5 children, and I was putting some of them through college and basically lived paycheck to paycheck. And I never really thought that I would be on the streets. I had the same job for over 12 years, and so I had no idea that anything would happen, and the company went under. Pretty much I found out that whether I had money or not, I could always eat here. All I had to do was work a little bit. And so I started being one of their barter workers, and about a year after that, I went to being a volunteer. And I volunteered for about 2 years, and when a job opening came up, I applied. And actually, I was still homeless when I got hired, and they knew that, but I was sleeping in a doorway up the street. Just so that I would be sure to make it to work on time. It's been a little over 2 years now, and I'm still here.
Next person in line for 11 o'clock.
A good day at Sisters is a full house, and everybody's happy, and it's really hearty soup, which makes people really happy. 300 or 400 people coming through to me is a good day.
All right, what can I do for you?
And we both would like to have number 1. And honey, would you like a salad on the
Dining with
side?
Dignity has, for the last 33 years, been something that Sisters has really prided themselves on.
We don't assume that people, A, don't want to pay or don't have a way to earn their meal, and I think that's really dignified. Also, the reservation system, I think, is really different than some other places that provide meals for folks, because people don't want to stand in line all day. People have tons of other things to do, so that's a really important piece at Sisters.
And you get to sit down like a real person and take your time to eat. Nobody's letting you know, well, there's 500 more people outside, so choke this down and leave.
Basically, about half of the cafe, we rely on barter workers or volunteers to run, and that includes bussing tables, bringing drinks, wait staff. How it works is folks come in and 15 minutes of work equals $1.50, which at Sisters is a meal and a drink. So people can do a quick 15-minute job, clean windows or whatever, and get their meal covered. But most people come in for longer than that, and some people come in all day, every day, and they have a huge stack of meal coupons that they've gotten for their barter work.
I'm putting on my flex gloves and y'all see they have no holes in them. You know, they must be ready to go at all times, you know. And I know y'all don't. I can do everything in Sisters that need to be done. My favorite is busing. Because see there, I don't have to be bothered with nobody. Only thing you do is just leave the place there and let me get them. Yeah, I'm getting ready to do some menacing back here on these dishes. But look, look back there, that's it.
Jesse James is an awesome person. I mean, I've seen him come from where he was at his worst to where he is today.
See, the way I do dishes, can't nobody else do them the way I do them. See, I separate them back there. That's the reason I like to work back there.
The job that he does is busing, but that isn't what he does. He's an ambassador for Sisters, and he's an ambassador about love. That's what he's all about. It's about love and compassion for his fellow man, and he doesn't forget where he was.
I've been going to the Sister Rose ever since 1980, and that was when Mount St. Helens blew up. At the time when I didn't come for what I'm doing now. I was just coming to get a meal like everyone else. When an alcoholic drank, he have to eat. And I was introduced to Sisters. They said, well, I said, I'm hungry now, They said, well, I know where we can go. They said, we go down at Sisters. And I started working at Sisters. And I realized, well, if I work, then I can eat. And I mean, I worked, and for long, even in my drunken stupor, I began to like the people down there. I didn't have no family here. But Sisters were the only place I could go when I want somebody to talk to, You gotta start somewhere. And where did I start at? Sisters. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm striving for perfection. Each day I go down that Sister Road, they got to the place now where Sister and them trust me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and it's nice. It makes me feel like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. That's what it makes me feel like. If I can do it, you can do it too.
So,
We're going to be
I
sitting
know,
here
we're both
crying.
sitting all choked up.
And I've seen this a dozen times at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Jesse. Yeah, he's pretty darn good ambassador for Sisters,
Oh, he
I'd
is.
say.
And what you just saw, really, everything they said, I couldn't say it any better.
that was
That's
great.
exactly what Sisters is about.
Yeah. And I loved it that he said, I need somebody to talk to. Like, place to go. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, so it's a lot more than just a cafe.
Right. Authentic relationships.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
People really caring about each
And
other.
respecting each other and
Yes.
showing each other, being dignified. I mean, you have a dignity, that's great. So the Dining with Dignity sounds like, right, it's going through the whole month of September. You're having a kickoff event, I understand?
Yes, we're having a kickoff event on August 27th, which is a Tuesday night. And it's going to be wonderful. This we haven't done yet. This is new and really exciting. I do have to look at my notes a little bit here, but
That's fine.
Sharp Restaurant is one I haven't been at, but it's a project of the International Culinary School, which is part of the Art Institute, and under the direction of Chef Corey Schreiber, who anyone who loves to eat in Portland knows
Anybody who's
Corey
been in
Schreiber.
Portland any time at all knows who Corey Schreiber is. Yeah.
Wildwood Restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's under his direction, and the dishes that they're preparing are coming from Mark Bitterman's latest cookbook, which is called Salt Block Cooking.
Yeah.
And there's
Yes,
a lot
I
of people.
bought a signed copy of his book, so I know
That is so great.
about Mark Bitterman.
And
yeah.
he's going to be there to sign
cool,
books. He's going to be there to autograph, and there's also going to be demonstrations during the evening, so people will be able to see how salt cooking is really done.
Yes, I haven't tried it yet, so that'll be great. That'll be fun.
Yeah, and I can tell you some of the names of some of the dishes. It might kind of
I like
entice
hearing
you a
about
little
food.
bit.
Yeah. You know
Some
it
of them
will.
I can barely pronounce, but Salt block gravlax on Parmesan crackers with dill and creme fraiche.
That sounds Russian, I think.
Grissini with veal, carpaccio, and black salt.
That sounds Italian.
International
Yes.
cuisine here. And maybe from the cold station, we have watermelon and feta on salt block.
Ooh.
And then for sweets, we have roasted peaches in bourbon syrup with smoked salt.
Oh, wow.
Bali Rama oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Warm chocolate hazelnut fudge pudding cake.
Stop. That sounds wonderful.
And there's room for about 20 more people.
Wow.
So
Okay. So
call
go to your
us, get in-
website or
come
call
to the
you?
website, call us, and I can
Okay.
tell you more about it.
Good. So, and where is this going to be? Is it at Sharp? You said at
It's
Sharp?
at Sharp,
Yeah,
yes,
okay,
which is
okay.
located 1122 Northwest Davis.
Okay.
And we really, really appreciate what they're doing for us. This is, you know, they are teaching people how to cook. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about food over there. And Sisters of the Road, food justice is a really strong theme for
Right,
us.
that's a big thing there.
It
Yeah.
is. And in a country as rich as ours, everybody should be able to eat. So, you know, we really appreciate that an organization like that school is empathetic to us and really understands the need for food justice and is helping us and participating and helping to make that so.
And when they're training their students, obviously they're incorporating that into their curriculum, it sounds
Yeah.
like. So
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah. You have some really good partners, don't you?
We have
This is
amazing partners. We
yeah.
do.
I wish we had more time to talk about all the other things that Sisters does, but we're just about out of time.
Okay.
Anything else you want to tell us about what's going on there that we should know about? You
Well,
said
one
there
of
were
the
some
one of the
changes that were going
things
on,
there are
but-
some changes going on. Monica Beamer was our director for 12 years, and she is moving on to other adventures in her life now. We just had a going away party for her on Saturday, this past Saturday, on August 10th. And over the past year, we've been working hard to become a collective. So we are now officially a collectively run organization,
Wow.
which means that everybody is a co-manager. We don't have a director.
So it's
or- all
a
even.
flat-
It's
or is
all
it-
even.
Wow, that's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, we are a national model and a local model, and it's going really well so far. We have pay equity, power equity.
When you say pay equity,
Pay equity.
Does that mean everybody gets paid the same?
Everybody gets paid the same. Everybody gets
Really?
the same benefits.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really different. It's really interesting, and it empowers people to learn what they need to learn to do their jobs well, and to learn other people's jobs so that we can hold each other accountable for the work that
Wow.
needs to get done in order to keep Sisters of the Road operating.
That's
So-
really fascinating, Brenda, because
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I've never worked in a I mean, we do a lot of consensus decision making here, but to have everybody making the same pay and to have everyone knowing a little bit about each other's jobs, I mean, that's good to know a little bit, but to cover each other, but to hold each other accountable, that's a different concept.
Yeah, it is. It's hard work, but the thing that feels so good about it is that at the end of, I don't want to say at the end of the day, because that's kind of cliche, and I don't mean that, but at the end of a project or a program or a month or a fiscal year, we all know exactly what is going on. You know, we
Yeah.
know what's going on in each other's programs. We've had a say in it. Everybody has equal say in the decisions that are made. And that's really different from hierarchical organizations.
You couldn't have very much game playing going on there, could you? Or
no, it eliminates a lot
company
of that.
secrets or
Right.
no surprises, really, I would think, as far as you know, oh, sorry, you just lost your job because we don't have the funding for it.
No,
I mean,
it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's very different.
good place to be.
It's a wonderful place to be. Come on down sometime.
Yeah, well,
you did.
I did. I
and
had lunch.
I encourage
Yeah,
everybody.
And before we had talked about that, I had never thought about just coming down to have lunch. And the food was really good. It was good. It was substantial. Stuck with me, and it was, and the people were great. I really enjoyed that. And we were watching that video, and you mentioned that who was the gentleman you pointed out with the
Jesse?
green hat? No,
Was Jesse?
no, not Jesse. You said he
Oh,
was somebody,
Julio?
somebody that worked there. Somebody who works for Sisters, or he was a board member or something. I thought. I don't know.
Oh, David Nail, our the president of our board.
Yeah, he was there, but he's the president of your board, but you couldn't differentiate him from anybody else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We are one.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of a collective organization altogether. I mean, everybody seems to be on the same level. That's good.
Well, I think you really need to understand what it is and agree to participate in that in order to work there.
That's what I was going to say. You couldn't go there just for a job.
No,
You couldn't. You have to buy into it. You have to
Right.
actually believe it. And
You do,
stand
because it's a
behind it.
lot of work.
Yeah.
It's more work than an organization where you just have your specific job and that's all you have to be concerned with. Because here, you really need to branch out and you have to learn something about budgeting. You have to learn something about human resources, and you have to learn something about how do you recruit volunteers. You have to learn something about, you know, the realms of work that are outside of your own.
So it's probably not always comfortable, but I bet it's always fulfilling.
It is not always comfortable and eventually is fulfilling.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Once you get a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
I think
Very
it'll be-
it is a very interesting model.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be anxious
We're
to find out.
excited
To
about
check
it.
back with you in a year and see how
Yes.
that's all going.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you so much, Brenda, for being on tonight.
Thank you.
I'm excited about the Dining with Dignity Month. I've been going through, okay, I gotta check my calendar, see which days are open, which restaurants I get to go onto on those days, because I definitely want to hit up some of those places.
Yeah, and you
that's
can
great.
find all that information on the website.
Good. Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for joining us tonight here on Community Hotline. I think it's been a good show. We've had some interesting information on things going on in your community. So I hope you'll come back next week. I'm Monica Weitzel. This is Community Hotline.